And with that said, we have the wonderful Christina Erickson and Daniel Burkholz up front.
And their piece is called Why TikTok is Important. Four years ago, Beloit College student Chris Vaughn founded the now annual and beloved TikTok presentation. 4 years ago, I was unaware of the motivation behind TikTok. Hence, when Chris popped by one afternoon and with an expectant twinkle in his eye, he asked me if I was going to TikTok, he probably wasn't expecting my answer, which was absolutely not. Indeed, he looked surprised. To my surprise, instead of telling me I was rude and leaving, he asked if he could come in and talk with me about why I didn't want to go. I told him sure, and our conversation was something like what follows.
So, absolutely not, huh? That's a pretty strong reaction, Miss Erickson. Please, enlighten me.
Well, to be frank, Chris, I really just don't see the need for one more way to glorify the male genitalia. I've had to repeatedly read about Freud's penis envy in every psych class. I've taken an art history class where we actually spent 3/4 of the class discussing the changing ideal of the penis and the Greeks' obsession with it. And on a daily basis, I am confronted with penis bravado. At the gym, listening to hip hop, and in comments. Bottom line, I'm exhausted by your love for your penis, and no, I do not envy it. Chris took a moment before asking.
Okay. But then how do you feel about the vagina monologues? Is it fair that is it fair for women to have a show that empowers their vaginas, but not to have a show that allows men to feel empowered by their penis?
I sighed. Chris, outside of raising awareness about violence against women, one of the reasons the Vagina Monologues was created is because historically societies and pop culture tended to convey the message that vaginas are gross and not to be discussed. Penises, on the other hand, have constantly been glorified as the pleasure tool in sex and something that allows you to bond with your buddies because you can all urinate your names into the snow. Again, Chris's response surprised me. He grinned. He grinned for about 5 long seconds. I was actually getting uncomfortable when he blurted,
You are exactly the kind of audience member that I want at this show. The reason I'm doing TikTok is to disprove all this male machoism and allow men to talk about reality. And the reality is that we're just as insecure, frustrated, and confused by our penises as women are about their vaginas. I won't say more than that right now, but please, just come to the show and we can talk about it afterwards.
Intrigued and always liking to support friends, I went to the show. To say that I was impressed would be a gross understatement. I was blown away. I could not believe how much the stories mirrored the Vagina Monologues in their honesty, insight, varied emotions, and incredibly important messages. I also hadn't realized the extent of insecurities centered around the penis. Chris and I did end up having a great post-show discussion for about 2 hours, and since then, wanted to be... I've attended TikTok each year and tell everyone and their mother to go. I've always wanted to be able to pay tribute to Chris in some small way, as TikTok not only became a favorite Beloit event, but really changed my mindset about the penis. So, with the risk of exposing the stubborn, slightly embittered, and ignorant freshman that I was, I do so on behalf of my respect for Chris, TikTok, and yes, penises.